sin, they can't outlaw the creation that God has gave and has given. Now here is Brother Jeremiah. This is what he says. He says, God, I'm looking up at that sky, I'm looking up at the heavens, and I'm looking up at the earth, and I am seeing, judging by what I'm seeing, oh God, not where I'm at, not what I'm in, not what I'm dealing with, not what I'm currently seeing, but God, I'm lifting up with the eyes of faith, and I am seeing that you created the heavens and the earth. Therefore, there is nothing too difficult for who? Thee. Not for me, not for him, but for you. Now here is my question. What was so big about what Jeremiah was seeing that he was able to say, God, where I'm at isn't all that great. And where I'm at isn't all that good, and I don't have a whole lot of hope. But God, I'm looking at something that you've gotten and done, and I'm looking at that creation, and I'm seeing there's nothing too hard for thee. I believe Brother Jeremiah's in that prison cell. I believe he's inside of that thing poking out, and a little verse that one of his forefathers, a man by the name of Isaiah, wrote down in chapter number 40 and in verse number 21. When Brother Isaiah was given the prophecy, he's talking about God, and he said, God hath measured out he had measured the waters in the palm of his hand, and he hath meted out the heavens with a span. Now that word meted, it's a King James word. It means to measure out. The Bible tells us that when God measured the heavens and the earth, and when God measured everything that you and I see, He did not do it with an angel's wing. He did not have to get his arm. He didn't have to take his foot and put one heel to the other. The Bible says that He measured it out with a span. Now, I'm not all that intelligent, but I do know how to read. And I got my dictionary out and I looked up that little word span. And that little word span in your dictionary, Brother Webster says that it is the distance between a man's thumb and his pinky finger. Now, I wasn't altogether convinced, because if I'm going to go off inside of a prison cell and believing that God can do anything and there's nothing too hard for Him, I got to know more than what Brother Webster said. So I went to Brother Strong and I got his concordance out. And I looked at Brother Strong's concordance, and Brother Strong, he testified to the same thing that Brother Webster testified to, that the span of a man's hand is the distance between his thumb and his pinky finger. So I'm just sitting here thinking, I know that God, He is Spirit, and I know God doesn't have a physical body, but He does give us these little things called anthropomorphisms. I went to college, just wanted to try to impress you with that. This side over here wasn't that impressed with it. Anyways, let me go back. What that basically means is that God describes Himself in human characteristics. For instance, God doesn't have an actual heart, God doesn't have an actual hand, and God doesn't have actual feet. He gives those things to us so that we can understand Him. So what God is trying to explain to you and I is He is so big that when He measured out the heavens and the earth, He measured out everything with the span of His hand. Now, the average man's span from pinky to thumb, or from thumb to pinky, is 8 inches. So you're telling me that God's span is 8 inches, and with 8 inches of God's span, He measured out everything that you and I know as what scientists call the observable universe. Y'all aren't impressed with that either, so let me carry it on just a little bit further.